Hi. Now that I've got myself back together, I just did one alien, and my daughter going to basic, and the letter I received. So um, I've never seen this live. I'll try it out. We'll see how this goes. But I wanted to tell people about the Iowa State Fair Parade. We had 7 entries in the Iowa State Fair Parade, and it was regarding parental alienation, included people with CPS cases, and those grandparents that have not seen their children because the grandchildren might be in foster care for any reason, could be unlawful removals or medical kidnap, anything of that nature, and then not getting kinship care when the grandparents have done nothing wrong. But most people that are going through it know the incentive drives that. So I just wanted to let people know I'm one of the judges and explained to her how the Polk County Democrats were raising hell about us being in the parade and said that we should not have been there. But however, they were in there kind of doing pro in the parade. The judge actually said that they were thrilled to see us in there in our entry because it needs to be exposed about what's going on, and said that we were not out of line in any way, shape, or form, no matter what our sign said. And the DHS sign was not my sign. I'm the founder of the Parental Alienation Awareness Iowa group, so I had signs about alienation. However, I don't disagree with that sign about DHS stealing kids. They do. I know in some instances, maybe the children need to be taken until they find someone that can take, but to keep those children away from any family members is disgusting. So it ruins their heritage, all sorts of things, traumatizes them. So I just want people, sorry, I just want people to know that when the judges they like the entry, then because we're not going to be kicked out of that event. We're educating in Des Moines and all over because there's people from all over that come to there and come to. So missed in that parade. It was bigger than it were, or maybe it's because we were at um, entry number 63. So if you do go to Iowa Public and fast forward, I think it's at 40 minutes in, something like that, 40 to 43 minutes in is our entry. And they at least briefly say the names of our groups. So that's the most that any media in Iowa has ever done. Like I said, thanked me for being in. She me on YouTube sometime in the near future. And she's a foster actually in another county. So travesty of what in cases in the Polk County or areas around there. Um, Also, I was at the fair many days, 4 to 5, I can't remember, 4 at least, and was followed by many state troopers, followed by Des Moines police because I had a megaphone. And as far as I know, it's not illegal, especially when there's no battery while I'm walking through, off an alarm, scaring the hell out of people. What I used the megaphone for was that political at the political soapbox at the Des Moines. This is pretty low. A question of any of the candidates. I don't just want the candidate themselves to hear it. I want everyone to hear it and to hear the answer. Like Andrew Yang's, playing 2020. He's from California, and kind of, I would say he was trying to lead the audience to CPS case, and he doesn't know me. I have never had a CPS case. And inform the audience I don't have a unlawful custody issue. This is about a child protection issue. They're not listed in the states, then fundamental. And so he answers, and then he really didn't want to hear, but I tracked him down and got to talk to him a little bit. Also met with Brian Jack Holder, 3rd Congressional District, against U.S. The Iowa to us. So, well, on what's happening in the courts, he'll make this part of his platform. Who's running as Libertarian for governor of Iowa? Probably won't win, and a Castor Colonel thing at WHA booth showed usually about neck and neck with Kim Reynolds and Fred Hubble that's running against her. And I would attribute that the fact that she's not much anymore. She's ignoring a lady named Molly Tibbetts, who has been missing for a few weeks, and she's a University of Iowa student. But she's not talking about the University of Iowa students that us have and taken from us, but younger, but our rights were terminated. And so it's pretty thing to see that she only talks about one subject, that's happening with our kids. When they're abducted, I don't know, code 710.3. It was already in there being okay. But the only thing she meant, fines for third parties to abduct children. Well, it's parent, so this is they're very upset about this. When we contact, we say call the U.S. level. The U.S. level, call your governor, or call the legislators, or the governor's office, are not psychiatrists, and saying our kids don't like us when our kids, and we cannot get experts in Iowa, these judges and the mental health, so that they know how, when our kids go to counselors, or how to present in court if we call them to the stand. But it's hard for a targeted parent to ever see their kids again. So that was that. And what did they call it? The political soapbox. But they're not going to have that event until that parade is over. So a deputy said, you had better not be interrupting this parade. And I found that to be kind of insulting. I'm a patriot. My dad's been in the service. My brother's, and now I've got a daughter in the service. So why in the hell would I interrupt a parade for vets? It doesn't make sense. It was pretty insulting. And then he took at least 10 minutes out of my list of that parade. And I lost a chance to even see the, the entries that I, and I guess that was the plan. I went to a Mike Pence um, event. It was at the Veterans Memorial Hall, and it was guard outside. Um, they said they were going to tell people that I was there because I was a protester. I asked them where they got that idea that I was a protester. Sorry, because I didn't have a megaphone. All well, clothes, obviously, but I had an erased mom hat. I had just talked to a protester protesting about minimum wage, and I said, this is all you're concerned, raising minimum wage, but you're not concerned about the child trafficking in the courts and that they're allowing that here in Iowa or nationwide for that matter. And so I educated him, and come to find out, lo and behold, he's an alienated father. Huh, imagine that. So he took the information. So walking up to the security guards, who one of them had screamed at me in the car to move my effing car as I was waiting in line from some slowpoke, and asked him if he would not talk that well. They're the thing that people see. People from different states were coming to see Mike Pence, and that just horrible. He apologized actually and took my information, but the gal didn't like what I had said. So she went to the booth to tell them that you're here. I asked, and why would you tell them I'm here? You don't even know me. So I said, I assumed falsely for another thing. I'll just sit here on the curb. I'm not going to go inside and be arrested in front of legislators that I know and respect, and I'm just not going to have this drama in that room. So I sat down on the curb and politely waited. I had to stand up. Well, little did I know, Governor Reynolds was coming in. So they're having me stand up. And so I'm wondering, are they wanting me to salute her? So it looks like if you with Kim Reynolds and you don't like her, that they're going to come after you. Well, I don't have to like her, and I actually vote the same in that same uh, side, I guess you should say. I wouldn't be voting for her, but that's no reason for her to be sending people after me if, in fact, she's the one that did so. I don't know that for a fact, so I can't speculate, and I won't say that for sure. But it looks like everybody's up in arms about it, and they don't want this corruption to get out. So, sorry, but not sorry. So then I was held back of getting in because Miss Reynolds was going into the event. And so a security person at the event held the door shut. So me and this actual guard that was walking me to the door, he was in shock. And he goes, I don't know why they wouldn't let you in. I said, oh, this doesn't shock me at all. I waited. They had to call to make sure it was okay that Jody Mueller came in. And since nobody knows who the hell I am, they had no other choice but to let me in. And then was harassed by one of her plainclothes cops that follows her around. He saw me the day before when I was asking her questions at the fair. So I informed him that I don't have a court order, and he was telling people I had a court order, which made her against between me and Kim Reynolds. And I said, do you mean a custody order? Which he replied, yes, a custody order. I asked him how he thinks I got that custody order and what the custody order said. He didn't know. He had no answer. So when I informed him about the fraud that took place for my ex-spouse absent father to get the custody, and I informed him of 4D incentives, the Obama Fatherhood Initiative, and the corruption of the court reporter to take out half the transcript, he was a little bit more inclined to be nice to me and said he understood finally. So then I get inside of the Pence event, and lo and behold, if the cop from Grimes isn't in there. So it looks pretty fishy when the guy that only patrols Grimes, there's only two, I see him all the time, patrols Grimes that arrested me for not handing him my driver's license when he didn't ask for it, happens to be in, and then he comes up behind me, I guess to intimidate me or something. Then I get told, someone had put on a Facebook group that I was hurt. The only one that harassed me was the gal out front, out in the parking lot. Other than that, no one else harassed me. And so I just want to make that very clear. No one harassed me. I had a security guy come up to me and said that we couldn't do Facebook Live, and so who said that? Who said I was doing Facebook Live? Because you can't see me because I'm against the wall. And so I assume it was either the person from on group, maybe, that was there. There might have been several. I don't know. Maybe they saw me on Facebook Live in the thread. I don't know. Was it the legislators that I added Facebook Live? Or did he just assume? But he was not mean to me in any way. And so that got out of hand. I was not harassed. I just asked him who said it. That was it. I was never told to leave. Nothing of that nature. The security guy for Mike Pence, when I went something, and he said, "What is that?" I said, "That's a card. I don't have any paper. I just have this, and you won't let me put my hand in my purse to get a piece of paper, so this is all I have for him to sign," and he threw it to the ground. So that was pretty shitty because I was the only one that didn't get anything signed by Mike Pence, and I drove 720 miles to make sure that I could see him. So, evident that they don't want their name involved in anything. They don't want them told about the corruption in Iowa, and it's really sad because there's too many families being hurt in Iowa with these vague policies and laws and statutes, and I guess it's just going to continue until someone stands up for themselves, because it can't be just a handful of us. So anyway, I was just trying to set the record straight, and hopefully this live stream works. I don't know. I'll try to post this, and I hope everyone pulls up that song, Do Something. Look that up on YouTube. It was one of the 20 songs that I had played during the Iowa State Fair parade event. I'd asked people to send me some songs that they like that remind them of corruption, and I got great feedback and some great songs that I'm going to be listening to from here on out. Songs that I've never heard of, a lot of them. But I really particularly like the song Do by Matthew West. So I hope everyone listens to that, because those of you that think you're not affected by alienation or this court corruption, you actually are affected. Look up Federal Social Security Act 458, Title 4D, Title 4A, E, B, F. You actually are affected, and you're just oblivious to the fact of that. So your Social Security is affected, everything's affected. Your communities are affected. People that are being torn apart by this corruption. So please consider that. And anyway, if you want to know more about YouTube and Parental Alienation Awareness Iowa is one of them. The others are Make Families Great Again, Erase No More, Parental Alienation Warriors Unite. For fun and to make fun of the exes, I have another group called My Big Fat Thank You to My Ex. And that's where I do this in the style of Jimmy Fallon and send thank you to X, who's the alienator. So feel free to join in on that frivolity and send a letter. It doesn't really go to a letter to your ex. Thank you for XYZ. Another new one is clowns and gowns. So that was a term from Colorado came up with about the judges that are running these kangaroo courts. So if you've had a judge denied you access to your children for no reason, um, and quashed your subpoenas or quashed your witnesses to deny you any due process, go what they did to you, the county, state, wherever, because this needs to get out into the public when it's time to, you know, people need to know what these people are doing. So feel free on Facebook, Clowns and Gowns, and I know a lot of people can't, or they fear on that, but mostly I would say it's the people that have already lost everything, nothing else to lose. So don't feel like you have to put that in. That's just an option. If you want to vent about your judge, but please don't threaten anyone. I don't want you to get in trouble. But if you want to put it out there about a certain judge, feel free to do so. But don't do anything to harm your case. All right? Hang in there, everyone. And if my kids ever see this, I want them to know I love you. Everything I do is because of you. And I'll always be here when you ever wake up out of this fog of alienation and you want to have a relationship. I'm here. Love you. Bye. Hang in there, everybody.